Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 451 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for words about games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by the man who never turns up for Milestone Podcast. It's Stafford Moody.
Wait, is this a Milestone podcast?
Last week was.
Oh, last week was.
Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't listen to that one. All right. Hey, I'm back, everybody. Yes. They couldn't keep me away. I had to come back. They were bringing you terrible stories to talk about and everything. So I thought, you know what? I'll come back.
Wait, hang on.
Save you guys from them and bring you the goodness. And everything. And it's all good and everything. Don't worry.
No, I'm hanging you on. I'm looking at this document. I'm seeing the shit that you're bringing this week. You're just like, hey, I want to talk about this. And it's just like, oh, right. Oh, it's me and Vitz that are the problem. All right, I see.
Exactly.
For more of this energy, tune into Pixel Pop Stars this Saturday where Moods and Amy comes on.
6 weeks we've had of non-combative podcasting, and this has lasted 30 seconds.
Oh, you're lucky you didn't get combative on Sunday, so don't worry.
I'll combat you in the fucking head in a minute.
Bring it on. Hello, I hope everyone is well, though. It's Friday, you know what that means. It's the holiest of days itself. Video game day. All hail video games. Can I get a hallelujah from everybody except these two, because these two suck.
I've often held that opinion about myself. We're also joined
this is a news
this week by the bag buddy themselves. It's Vitz Patel.
What's up, everybody? How are you all doing? Hope you're all having the best times you can in this terrible, terrible planet. But, new podcast, new video games, all good.
Yeah, we still talk about new video games from time to time.
We do.
Even play some sometimes.
Yeah. Amy and I were waxing poetical about Claire Obscure Expedition 33 earlier on today. What a video game. I know we've ranted and raved about this game in previous episodes, but the further I get into it, the more this game amazes me. Yeah,
I'm in the post. Well, I'm not in the post game. I mean the stuff that you're supposed to do after you beat the final boss. Watch the credits and then get dropped to your save file that's from before the final boss.
Right, yeah.
Instead, I was like, what if I just don't fight the final boss yet? And just do all that stuff now?
Got the post game.
Yeah. But I haven't finished the game, so it's not the post game.
It's the pre-post game.
It's the pre-post game.
The pre-game.
The pre-game. But yeah, no. You sent me that message.
The demo.
So you were like, the nerfing by L, and I was like, oh shit! And then I read the article, and I was like, I don't even use that move, so I don't even worry about it. I'm all good.
He was like, I don't need that move, bitches. I'm good.
I found different ways to break the game.
Is an absolute beast. Yeah, she's got like a couple of absolute killer moves.
I sent Vitz detailed instructions. I was like, here is how to turn Lune into a nuclear explosion. Step by step.
God damn it, Boomerang. You haven't fucking sent it to me yet. You haven't even moved it over to the renting part. Sons of bitches.
How many strikes did Boomerang get before you say no more?
Well, I've just rejoined them, mate.
I'm still waiting to see if Xbox and 360 and PS3 games exist. I'm still in my game of chicken with them. They keep sending me emails. They're like, if you add more games, you'll get more games, and I'm just sitting there going, no. Your move.
Yes.
The thing is, unless you ring them, which I know you're not going to do, you're never going to find. They're never going to send you.
Well, they've got so you have to ring them. They've got customer support, but it's on fucking Twitter, isn't it? So, like, I'm not going on Twitter again. We had this discussion on the stream on Sunday. Like, no, thank you.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
Logging into my Twitter account just to message Boomerang and be like, listen, be straight with me right now.
Also, can come over to Bluesky.
Do these games exist or not?
I'm not mad. I'll just be disappointed.
And then they'll be like, we'll tell you, but don't tell anyone. And then I'll be like, all right, cool. Meanwhile, I've got a Google Doc open with a video essay where I'm just like, yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell anyone. Not at all.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
If they're not on Blue Sky, they can't see Blue Sky. That's how you was thinking.
That's really hard that I know of. So, but I won't lie, I haven't gone looking. So,
neither right. To be fair, like I followed them years ago because I had an issue with the game. They sent me, got lost, and I was like, "Yo, where's my game?" And they were like, "Well, you have to wait 14 days before it's officially lost." And I was like, "Are you fucking for real?"
You could have beaten me by
14 days. Yeah, you'd have a back by then.
Yeah, I've had to contact them before of like me returning a game to them, and I'm just like, well, I returned it. I did my duty. I posted it. Go and blame the post people, the postman.
So, Moody, are you waiting for someone else to return their copy before you can have it, or?
Basically, that's what.
Right.
They only have a certain amount of copies, and unless someone returns it, it says right now 4 to 6 days. It's in amber. When I posted, when I upped my subscription, it was in green. Bastard.
I remember you saying it.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
But Boomerang. It's a good service. I just want to know if they've got Xbox 360 and PS3 games. If they say they do. Thing is, their lowest tier doesn't let you buy. It doesn't let you rent PS5 and Switch and Xbox Series games.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why. That's why what spurred me on to do this experiment. I was like, hold on a minute. Can I get anything else? Because it doesn't seem like I can.
I think you should email them, Amy, and see if they answer. Say, hello, I've got this price. I'm paying you money. I've asked for these games. Why have you not sent them yet?
Paying you £4 a month.
Ha 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 ha.
And then I'll be like, more ha 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 cancelled.
Exactly. I'll see you in court.
No, not even that. I won't. Like you said, Vitz, I won't be mad. I'll just be disappointed.
The thing is, she's already
always 10 times worse.
I'm already disappointed.
That's the thing. So what? You can just get more disappointed. There's different levels of your disappointment. I need to test this myself.
You test me every fucking week.
Admit it, when you saw I said I'm returning this week, you went, oh no.
No, I did, yeah, it's true. Like, it was like one of those conflicted responses to the message. And I was like, oh, good, Moody's back. But also there was like a small part of me that was like, oh, fuck. Like, I have to prepare myself. I have to prepare myself for a whole different kind of experience now. That I'm not quite used to.
A sucky experience when I'm not here. See what it is? Damn, man.
It's a different experience. I can just chill out.
What would you do without me, hey listeners?
As it turns out, what we would do without you is just have chill conversations about all games and be like, yeah.
And absolutely nail the outro.
Absolutely nail the outro.
Exactly, yeah. I thought you were all perfect every single time I listened to an episode.
See? No notes.
No notes. We nailed it. You know what we could do? We can just take over the outro. Even now these.
I think you should. I wasn't intending to do it. I thought you guys did such a great job. I thought leave it to you two.
The dripping, like,
I haven't even got it up.
Sarcasm coming out of that little video box. it's like dripping out. Like, you did a great job. It's in the eyes. It's all in the eyes.
You can see it dripping down the windows of my
it's like, that's not condensation. Exactly. That looks like salt.
This tastes a little bit salty. It's too much salt on this.
Hold on, I need to refill my salt shaker. I don't know why that's here, but it is.
Prop comedy is always the best. We know this.
It's not like I didn't plan this.
It's the worst salt. Table salt.
It's table salt. We can't all buy fancy salt carried on the backs of fucking Sherpas from the Himalayas down the mountains for 12 days and 12 nights. With your fancy little electric fucking salt grinder that goes whenever you use it.
You love that salt.
I do love that salt. It's so good. It's so good.
that's why she's the only reason she's coming up and saying, "Fuck you guys, I'm here for the salt grinder and Sophia's food."
I was going to say I'm here for the food.
Yeah, and the salt grinder.
The food and the retro games.
No, true.
When I found out my PS3 plays PS1 games, oh boy, it's a game changer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you said you got that version, didn't you? Yeah.
No, it's not even that version. What I found out was like the all PlayStation 3s play PS1 games. Every single model. It's just the PS2 games that it doesn't play. But to be fair, I haven't actually tried it.
Unless you have the emotion engine inside, then it doesn't play PS2, but it'll play everything else.
I went down a bit of a rabbit hole on Reddit because I wanted to see, because I've got a broken PS3 that I was looking to get repaired. Like, because I think this is a launch model. Maybe I can see if I can get it repaired. And then I was like, is this a launch model? And I was like looking at it. And then I found out like all PS3s play PS1 games, have a PS1 upscaler, like the whole 9 yards. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, let me test this. So I grabbed Bushido Blade because it was the first one I grabbed, stick it in. And I was like, oh my God, it works.
There you go.
Wait, Sony kept that quiet, or did I?
No, I never knew. But like,
yeah.
I was talking, my friend Max, who like, you know, we're both like retro enthusiasts, which is wild to me because he's like 20 years old or something. And he didn't know.
He's still a baby.
he didn't know. He can like pull consoles apart and like clean them and do all sorts of stuff that I'm too scared to do. And even he didn't know. And then there's tons of people on Reddit, when you go on Reddit threads about it, who are just like, holy shit, I never knew this. It's like, I don't think it was ever advertised.
They definitely kept that bloody thing quiet because
Backwards
I always thought
wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah,
like people weren't asking for it. So long as it played PS2 and the launch ones did, because the 60 gig model with the little flappy thing that played PS2 games. That's all people are interested in.
I didn't give a. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. It's no doubt about that. But like, I just always thought it was just not backwards compatible for everything, like for PS1 as well. Jesus, Sony kept that thing going.
Yeah, me too.
Why didn't they not spread that around like crazy? Could have been saying, we are trying to get the PS2 one on properly for you, but the PS1's already there. We know you love that fucking console type of thing and all those great games and everything, man. Jesus.
Like,
so they kept that really quiet.
They would have blitzkrieged Xbox 360 if they had just told everyone. It was like, no, by the way, these ones also still play PS1 games.
They have arguably one of the greatest libraries out there, apart from probably Nintendo. Which is insane. Jesus, why would you keep that quiet? I know you put it out at a stupid price. And it didn't really look that good either. It was a really...
They made a number of mistakes during the PS3 generation.
But they fixed it by the end.
They did fix it by the end. They did finish second by the end, right?
No,
they actually
finished first.
Yeah, second behind Nintendo.
Yeah, no, they didn't finish first.
Yeah. Sorry, I was not counting Nintendo.
Sorry. They did beat Xbox. They did beat Xbox, right?
Yeah, they beat Xbox.
I was like, no one beat Wii. I don't think PCs beat Wii. Like, not even just gaming PCs, just PCs in general.
Yeah, it's a crazy. That's blown my mind. Now
it blew my mind.
I'm gonna go looking for a PS3 now.
It blew my mind. Like, as far as I'm aware, according to the internet, like any PS3 can do it. So, like, you could buy like whatever the cheapest PS3 on the market is. Whichever model that is, and it will work. Like, you'll be able to put Dino Crisis in and it'll just play. Like Todd Howard said, it just works.
PS3. I'm literally on sex right now.
Because I thought my PS1 options were limited to what I could still get on the crumbling PS3 store.
Yeah.
So I had a list, and I was like, cool. So
is that still awake?
Yeah.
Awake alive?
It's slowly falling apart.
That's understandable.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to like maybe prioritize getting games off of this first. Because like you can get one example, like you can get like I got Suikoden 2 for the PS1 version of Suikoden 2 on the PS3 store for £3.99, and like the PS1 version of that game is like 250 quid. Because the retro gaming market is insane. So I was like, you know what? I don't want the box that badly. Like, if I want the box that badly, I'll just buy a box.
Yeah, just Etsy that.
And just have the box behind me.
PS3 super slim console, 500 gigabytes black discounted, 95 quid.
Yeah, as far as like the internet has told me, stick a PS1 disc in, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you never say anything, Sony? You batshit crazy people. Collected it. Let's have a look. Is it close to me?
Moody's just gonna. I'm just gonna go. Can you do the first half of the podcast? I'll be back in
Remember when I
about
said
half
I'm
an
back?
hour.
Oh, it turns out, yeah.
No. And I know it's not open, so no, it's not. This version is not close to me. Damn it. But
You know what you might. You know
in it next month.
You know where you might be able to get one from.
Yeah.
The big retro game store that we're going to this summer. But if you buy one first and then continue to save money, you just buy a shitload of PS1 games. That's my plan.
Because I saw they have a lovely little collection of PS1 games as well. I've seen that.
I went on their website, which is basically Facebook. Like that, it's linked. It's linked. It's just Facebook, and like because I wasn't logged in, like I couldn't look at all of because they don't they post the pictures of what they've got, so I could only see like a few pictures. And I was like, that's good because I don't want to like see their entire collection before I go because that'll just make it less fun. But
That's
like
fair.
what I did see, holy fucking shit! I was like, I have never ever seen that in the wild. Like games, I'm looking at certain games, just like I've never seen that game before.
Did you see prices as well of these pictures? Like, were they
no,
labeled?
they didn't have prices on them.
Okay.
Pokemon ones did. And I was like,
I'm sure they did.
The Pokemon
those
shelf
look a bit.
did, yeah.
Those look good.
They know what they have for sure.
No, they know what they fucking have, no doubt. The CX that I have where I'm at now, they have a fully boxed manual copy of Pokemon Crystal, 300 quid. I've seen it. It looks pretty clean as well. I was thinking, that's not bad.
Box and manual. Wow.
The whole fucking shebang.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool indeed.
I'm quite flexible on manuals. Like it's a nice thing to have, but like the manuals are all preserved online. So like when I played Parasite Eve 1, I didn't have the manual. And I didn't read the manual, and that was a mistake. That I paid for dearly. And then when I needed to read the manual, I just looked the manual up. And I was like, oh, that's how you heal. Like I legit
Maybe if you read the Dino Crisis manual, it told you about the bandages.
No, I knew about the bandages. I knew, I remembered, but I never played Parasite before. But yeah, no, I played the entire first. There's like 6 chapters of that game. I did the first chapter of that game without healing once because I didn't know how.
It's not a flex, it was just incompetence.
It wasn't a
Ignorance,
flex.
rather.
I was just I was just bashing my head against the wall because I was like, damn, they didn't put like healing out of combat. Yeah, sure. Healing in combat, didn't think it was a thing. Didn't think it was a thing. I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, it's gotta be a thing. Let me look in the manual on like page fucking 4 or something. It's just like, do this to heal. And I was like, oh, why didn't I? But then when I played Parasite Eve 2, I did the same thing and I didn't read the manual. I think I would have learned.
You think you'd learn.
Basically, what I'm saying is if you play a game from before the invention of the tutorial level, read the manual first. In the back of the day, you used to go out town and on the bus back, that's when I used to
Yeah, you'd be reading the manuals,
read that
yeah.
manual. I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah. I want to know how bleeding works in Dino Crisis. What the fuck is bleeding? Wait,
There's no doubt about it.
I can drop my gun.
There's no
I would
doubt
make that a
that
thing.
it is a dying breed now, dying art. What you can see when it comes to games, boxes are so basically empty and naked these days. It's a shame compared to what you used to get and everything. You could see they put the pride into it and everything, and it was it's disappointing to see. I get it to a certain point that it costs money and blah 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 and all like that shit,
no.
but to see that type of stuff just die, it's really a shame. It is.
I love a good box.
Oh, they just go, here's the super duper expensive collector's edition.
That's how you get it, yeah. You spend
Where
£300 for this.
originally it was just like, that was the edition. You had everything. It was fine. Now
That was like
pull it apart.
collector's editions used to be sick, man. You used to get like statues and all like fucking like I saw a Yakuza. I can't remember which one. One of the Yakuza games special editions had like it came with glasses. You know, from the bar that like is in the game. Like it came with actual glasses, and I was like, "Fuck, that's a collector's edition." And like, and I know we talked about this the last time you were here, Moody. It's like, now what do you get? 3 days early access and a digital art book and 3 tracks from the OST, and it's like, come on.
It's lazy. It really is. The thing is, when it comes, go on, Vitz, go on.
The Ghost of Yotei collector's edition does come with a mask, like a physical one.
The mask is cool.
Ties in. Yeah, but I accept that they are few and far between, and most of the times it is just 3 days early access and all that jazz.
I like video game tat. Look, I still have shelves for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that I watch this tomorrow after the podcast. They'll announce this, and also correct me if I'm completely wrong here. PlayStation haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet of 3 days early, have they yet? To my knowledge,
I don't know.
It's just an Xbox thing.
Yeah.
And everything.
I know it's like third party do it all the time. Like,
yeah, and third party. Yeah,
Ubisoft are all over that shit.
Yeah.
The only reason I really paid attention to it was when I got Avowed.
And
like when I was playing it because I had Game Pass for it. And then it was like, hey, would you want to upgrade to the digital deluxe edition? And I was like, well, let me see what's in the digital deluxe edition. And I was like, why would I need 3? I'm already playing the game.
Yeah. Hey, it's already past the early 3 days, you fucking idiot.
It's like 2 weeks after launch.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It really, really is. It's not a weird one. It's just capitalism is still corrupt. It's lazy.
I just think video game merch in general has gone downhill.
It's dying. Yeah,
it's like you used to be able to buy so much like cool stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not just for like the most popular like games or whatever. Whereas now it's like you look around, you have to really look. And usually when you find it, it's like indie people, it's like independent people on like Etsy and stuff, right? Like I saw these I saw this really cool keys from Resident Evil 2. Like someone had made the 4 police precinct keys.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn,
like a hot diamond.
Yeah, there was like a hot key and a diamond key, and I was like, damn, that's cool. Like that's cool merch. Like no, I don't want a fucking Albert Wesker Funko Pop, but I will pay money for those keys though. Am I ever going to use them? No. Like, what are they going to unlock? Raccoon City got nuked. We all know this. Like, the doors don't exist anymore.
Just for clarity's sake, so I'm looking up the collector's edition for Ghost of Yotei, which is currently £220 here in the UK. In terms of physical items, you get in the mask that I mentioned, a sash, and a suba, which I don't know what that is. I guess we'll find out when we play the game. A papercraft ginkgo tree, some art cards, and a Zeni Hajiki coin game and pouch, whatever those are. But and some art cards as well. So yeah.
So that's a collector's edition.
Yeah, it's still £200.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay for it. But I give Sony credit when they do collector's editions. Like they do some sexy ones. Like I remember that the Ragnarok one that was Thor's hammer. That was just like, oh,
the Milner in there.
Could I? And I was like, no, you can't. You fucking idiot. No,
I can't afford it. But
and especially as I got a code for it as well. So I was like, hey, even better for it. But I was just like, it was sexy. And like the Spider-Man ones have been awesome.
19 inches of venom. Do you remember the statue was marketed as 19 inches of venom?
Oh yeah, 19 inches of venom. Yeah, I remember that. The last collector's edition I looked at that I almost bought was the Shadow of the Erdtree one, because you got the Mesmer figure with it. Like, if
and then there was a on top of that when you got Mesmer's mask.
Yes, and the Elden Ring base one was Millennia.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit that I would buy. Like I remember getting super disappointed when Resident Evil 7 came out and the collector's edition was the house. Like you got the house with it. It was exclusive to game. I pre-ordered the shit out of that because I was like, fuck yeah, I want that fucking house. Look at that fucking thing. And then game had to cancel the pre-orders because all the like most of their stock was like all the houses were all broken. I was like, get more houses.
Give me one that isn't.
Just get more houses. And they were like, no, we're not getting more houses. And I was like, what the fuck? Fuck am I going to do now? So I rented it on Boomerang.
That's fair. That is fair. It's dying. It's pretty much dead. It's on its last limbs. Only a couple of companies are really holding it together, really.
Oh, that's such a good segue. Speaking of things that are dying and on their last limbs, let's talk about video games. And topic number one, I had something in here for last week that we skipped over because we took too long with the other two topics. I was just fascinated by Vitz's experiences at the Wembley Arena. So we kind of I was like, let's save this for next week. And then Moody came back and was like, I want to talk about Xbox prices. And I was like, well, I got some good news for you on that front. that was on the dock. So we can start because there's been a lot of bad shit happening in video games over the last couple of weeks. Moody, would you like to take
good
it away?
stuff with good video games?
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel like the dog in the fire saying this is fine, but a better version of it. I feel like the Gestural in the house.
There you go, the Gestural in the house. Yes.
I finally used that reaction screenshot that I took, and sent it to someone in place of the dog meme. But yeah, no. A lot of bad stuff has happened, and one of those things, the bad things that this happened, is Microsoft is raising its prices, which Mooney wanted to talk about on his return voyage.
Return voyage?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a voyage now, is it?
It's a voyage.
I'll make sure I don't.
For those who come after.
It's going to be your main topic anyway, so you take it away, Amy. I'm all good.
I
will listen to you.
No, you don't. You've never wanted to listen to me.
That's true.
Yeah, so Microsoft, in the midst of all of the Giant Bomb and Polygon news that was taking up a lot of free time, Microsoft decided to try and slide in a little bit of bad news of their own, which is rising the prices of everything. And by everything, I mean everything. So I pulled some Eurogamer information, which I will now read. Here in Europe, and I'm just going to read pounds because I'm sick of reading a million different currencies. So if you have a problem with that, sorry, bro, that's where I live. Here in Europe, Xbox Series X will cost £499.99, which is an increase of £20. The 512GB Xbox Series S, meanwhile, will cost £299.99, an increase of £50. If you're splashing out on the 2TB Xbox Series X model, that's up £40 to $589.99. In the US, the Xbox Series X will cost $599. That sounds familiar for some reason. Up a whopping $100. The 512GB Xbox Series S will cost $379.99, which has gone up by $80. And the 2TB Series X is now $729.99, up $130, which makes it now more expensive than Sony's $699 PS5 Pro. Lol.
Depending on where you are, because
I added a lol.
The PS5 Pro here, 700 quid.
It's just in America. The price rises, price changes are different. I know video game companies normally think dollars and pounds are the same thing, which is why we're paying $99 for Mario Kart World instead of 80 or whatever it is. But Xbox seems to have done it regionally. The prices of some upcoming Xbox games will rise to $80, with the UK price to be announced, but I'm going to guess it's going to be £80. At the end of this year, though existing games will not increase. I am reading that sentence right. Though existing games will not increase, be impacted. Sure, why not, Eurogamer? Still, expect this fresh pricing to roll out in time for Call of Duty 2025 and whatever else Microsoft has out for this Christmas. The Microsoft Q&A states, quote, "We will adjust the pricing of some of our new first-party games starting this holiday season to $79.99. This update will apply to physical and digital versions. That said, different games and expansions will continue to be offered at a variety of price points." End quote. They didn't trot Phil out for this one.
That's a strategy, Xbox.
It's a strategy.
Well, the thing is, I'll take one thing from Skillup's video that I watched today, he's right on one thing. I do agree with what will probably happen. Sony are going to do the same. So we all know this.
We said this.
It doesn't make it right, though. Yeah.
No, well, we did say
I'm
this.
not saying it's right. Don't.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's right. Okay.
We did say this when they switched to in Mario Kart 8, and we went, cool, so the starting gun has now been fired, and everyone will raise their prices accordingly. And what I find very, very funny, and the reason I'm saying lol a lot about this is, one, cope, but also, two, Nintendo are having a bit of a struggle convincing people who aren't, like, price insensitive to their stuff. Like, there's the people who will just pay whatever to get their stuff. They're having trouble convincing the rest of the world that Mario Kart is worth $80. So I'm not sure how Xbox is going to convince people that Fable's worth $80. Like Call of Duty, sure, yeah, $80. There's a lot of people who will just pay whatever for it. But like, there's a lot of there's some games out there that are going to be immune to this, like Call of Duty, like the FIFAs when EA probably do it later soon, Madden
and Madden's, and all the sports games basically, and obviously GTA when it comes out later, sometime next year. Where obviously we don't know. Yeah. They say a date. Who fucking knows? We'll get to that story later though. Go on, Vitz.
Go ahead, mate.
No, go on.
I was going to say the only silver lining here for Xbox, if there is a silver lining, is that while physical prices and obviously digital prices are going to be listed at £80 as well, or $80. Sorry, that Game Pass is their at least front-facing strategy going forwards anyway. It's like that's where they expect people to, that'll be their justification to say, okay, we're raising the price, but here's Game Pass as well. Now, Game Pass probably will go up in price later on this year as well to match, but they'll at least kind of market it as an offset cost to say, oh, but in Game Pass you can have all these games for quote unquote free if you pay for the
if you pay for $25 a month or whatever the fucking hell it costs now.
Yeah. The thing is about it, like we spoke about last year when all of us cancelled our subscriptions. I know, Amy, you've gone back to it.
I went. Games out there. I went and.
Oh, have you? Okay, no mind. It's that's a thing that's not going to hold people's attention. And at the end of the day, they need that. And as the gaming audience, the main gaming audience, is not big enough for them to make it sustainable. They need it to be and they know that the wider general gaming audience who just basically play Call of Duty, or maybe say 3-4 games maximum a year, they're just going to go out and buy them, like and everything. We know that, even though they'll be annoyed at the price and everything like that, they'll also probably just think it's the only game I'm going to play for the next 4 months until the next thing I know that's coming type of thing. And it's Game Pass for me is not good. I think it's going to die.
I think it's reached its maximum number.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to do anything for them. But the thing is for them is like, even though these prices are terrible and I freaking hate that they're doing it and everything like that, their strategy to being everywhere is working. Their PlayStation, they were the biggest publisher that sold for them this year or the last year or whatever. For them,
I saw that. Yeah.
Which is great. That for them, that's great. And for anyone who wants us to play games, I'm really happy for everybody and everything. Like, I will get around to probably trying Indiana Jones on my PS5 and everything. I am going to give that a go eventually. But that's the thing about it. But this is the thing. I agree with everything what you guys are saying. These prices are not going to be sustainable. Like if Nintendo, who are the most, compared to all three of them, PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft, are the more beloved company, are struggling to get their Switch 2 and their games to be bought. Microsoft, who are basically probably the least liked company out of all of them, Xbox, this is going to fall flat on their face. People, like we've said on multiple occasions, like you said yourself, me on it, is like, yeah, my wage hasn't kept up with these type of things, and it's the same for me, and it's the same for, I'm sure, for Vitz, and for many more people out there. We've got other prior things to think about than, no offense, than buying a freaking video game for 80 quid. I've won my brother and his wife who like Obviously, they have 3 sons and everything, and one of them is very into gaming. He loves the Switch and everything, and they do know about the Switch too. And I've said, I wouldn't buy it. It's going to cost you a bloody arm and a leg if you're lucky enough to even get it. And then when it comes to games, you're going to be forking out double what you're basically already paying for what you were on the previous games. And so I've just basically said, don't do it.
I agree with what you're saying. My worry is that the price point that the Switch 2 is currently at. Now, I imagine it's sold out everywhere because, like
it'll
Amy said,
sell
no
really well for the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this is the cheapest the Switch 2 will ever be.
Well, because we're in untested waters, right? Like your advice about the Switch 2 was sound. Like for every other console generation, like you can wait and get one when they bring the price down, but the prices are going up. Like every console is getting more expensive, not less. So like, is a Switch 2 a better investment at launch than in 2 years because they might raise the price?
But I wouldn't feel too bad about it because it's a moot point anyway. Because I don't think you'll be able to snatch one up in this pre-order window or anything like that.
Sure.
So,
yeah, for me, I think this is a massive double-edged sword to all the companies who are thinking of raising their prices and their prices that they're doing now. We were already struggling for a game price at 70 quid. That's facts out there. We're all struggling already out there for it to be 70 quid. If you put it up a tenner, that makes it even worse. You go up to 90, makes it worse. 100 makes it worse. And yeah, some games, like I've already stated, are going to be immune from this. We know this. Like the ones I've already rattled off and everything, those ones are going to get away with it. But like what I've noticed even more of what I've read online and everything like that, there's not enough market share. A lot of people only buy a handful of games, and 9 times out of 10 just stick to Fortnite. The multiplayer, the giant online games, the big top 5, especially like thank you to Alana Pace's video and everything like that.
Great video.
They're gobbling up player time, and there's not enough time to be the quote unquote for in the gaming industry to be able to get all their games played. So you're crippling the whole thing all into self. It's crippling the indie game industry. It's going to cripple it. Only a handful until you see. Yes, we'll see some great ones pop out. Blastro last year, but Blueprint this year, and other ones from the previous years, and I think and many more coming in the future. But the industry's just going to. The indie industry is going to die. AA is then going to become the indie industry. Then that'll eventually die. And AAA. It's going to be like everyone's sick of AAA for the majority because of the same thing, tired over and over again. That's why we've loved great games in the indie and AA space. But it's just going to turn into the same mush over and over again. And the price will, if the prices go even higher, I think then we're going to hit a point where a crash will happen because people ain't going to pay it. At the end of the day, a number will hit where the people are saying no. For me, that hits 70 quid. That's why I
don't buy games at 70 quid. Like I already hit that number. I was like, oh no, sorry, what? Like because again, like it's not a straight conversion from dollars to pounds, but before they were £70, it's not like they were 60. Like
50
our price increase in this country was a lot sharper than it was in America. Yeah, it's like, and it is a great point. Like, more and more people will just find that, actually, you know what? Like, I can just pay a subscription on Netflix. And, like, it's not video games, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than video games. Or just buy...
gone up as well?
Just, pirate games, or just buy cheaper games. Like, I was thinking about, like, the games that I've bought, like, the brand new games, the 2025 games that I've bought this year. Because obviously not count. If I count retro games, it's all over the fucking map. Like I just today bought 2 Point Museum, and that was only $24.99. Claire Obscure was $50. And then I'm thinking like Ender Magnolia, Blueprints was $25. Ender Magnolia was $20-25. I don't remember. It was January, but like I haven't bought a £70 game all year. Like, and I'm having a great time. Like as these two can attest, because they hear me talk about video games and group chat all the time. I'm having a fucking fantastic time playing these games. And like the market of people who want these types of games, like your Blueprints and your Clair Obscures, like are getting served and satisfied with games that don't cost £70. So what's my motivation to pay for a game? Pay £70 for a game, rather than pay 40 or £50 for Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and then just wait for insert AAA game that costs £70 to go on sale 6 months from now at half price. Like, I picked up Dragon Age: The Veilguard for half price. Like, so that, you know what I mean? Like, I can, like, because I thought, oh, I'm going to play the Dragon Age games this year, which I'm, like, working on. And like, at some point, I want to play Veilguard because I fucking love Dragon Age. But I wasn't going to pay £70 for Dragon Age: The Veilguard, like, even if I was going to play it immediately. Like, I had it.
100%.
I got it sent by Boomerang, and I had it. And I went, actually, no, you know what? I'm just going to send it back because I don't really want to play this right now.
So for additional context, so dear listener, if you hadn't had a chance to check out Alana's video, and we highly recommend that you do, she was bringing up some data crunch by analysts to say that essentially the video game market has matured. So in layman's terms, that means that it's not exponentially growing. Exactly. That there aren't an excessive number of new people coming in to grow the market and the total population that people can sell games to. To Moody's point before about the people who pay like live service games and that's all they play. Matt Piscatella over at Cicada, they came out with their analysis of the market around about a month ago now to say that the people who buy new games, and whether they're like single player or multiplayer games, not these live service games, that is 14% of the market, so 14%, and everybody else is playing either live service games or they're playing like games that you have to subscribe to, whether it be MMOs or anything like that kind of thing. And what Alana was referring to when it comes to video games is that the most precious commodity that anybody has right now is time. And video games aren't just competing against other video games. They're competing against social video. They're competing against TikTok. They're competing against YouTube. And the barriers for entry are so low when it comes to TikTok or YouTube like that, that video games just can't compete. And because the market has matured, the money that investors were putting into games, because that was the golden vein that they came to a couple of years ago. Yeah. Absolutely. And people stupidly promised that the gold rush is only ever going to exponentially go higher. I don't know if it was necessarily
like yeah, people with their stupid fucking MBAs from business school were like, the number will keep going up this fast.
That's it. So the investors have now taken their money out of video games. They've now stupidly put it into AI, which is why Microsoft has been pushing their AI initiatives, even though Satya Nadella came out and said AI has no commercial value, zero whatsoever. But they have to put initiatives into AI because they need that investors' money coming in the door, even though they know that it's going to end up in doomed failure and they're going to end up in layoffs. They need the investors on board, because otherwise the numbers can't go up and the shareholders can't get their payout. And to Moody's point, like the industry is cooked in terms of there is no money to invest in. It's not like the indies can save us, because those investors were putting money into indie games as well.
Like a lot of like the investment dried up in indies. I would have thought first. That's where the investment dried up. Because you need to promise massive returns. And like, I think the percentage thing, I think it's an interesting thing that Matt Piscatella brought up. The only 14%. So everybody's like targeting the other percent, the big percent of the people that only play Call of Duty and Fortnite and Apex. But if I read back the sentence that I just said out loud, these people only play Call of Duty and Fortnite.
You can't break
Apex.
Up a happy home. They're happy playing these experiences, yeah.
A safer bet is to target the 14% with a modestly budgeted game that doesn't take 10 years to make. I think we're at a point where something like, because we've said the word unsustainable so many times on this podcast about AAA games, I think it's practically lost all meaning in my as it comes out of my mouth. I'm like, is that a real word? But I think we're reaching a point now where we're on the edge of a cliff, and it's like something's got to give in this space, because we're at the end of the part where this is even like they can even pretend to keep this up now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what's also
the
pushing
facade
costs
is gone.
Vitz, go on.
No, you go ahead. I've spoken for a bit.
Okay. The thing that's also hurting costs going up is the multiple versions of consoles that are out there. Because at the end of the day, developers have to work on multiple versions of the consoles. And this is the thing, they start at PC. That's the best thing to start with and everything like that. And then they'll migrate down to getting it on consoles and everything like that. That's a lot of work. Especially then you have multiple different SKUs of this fucking console. This is the thing why I said what baffled me, and I've been saying for a while, Xbox is the worst thing to develop for because of the S. Apart from the Switch.
Well, at least with the Switch, it's one Switch, you know. It's
but the thing is, the Switch was so bloody underpowered. It was an atrocious thing to get developed on and everything like that. I was pleading with my last company, please hold the build. Please don't release the build Bramble on Switch yet. It's not ready. It's not, and it still isn't ready. It wasn't ready, and it went out in a. It played, you can play it and everything like that, but it went out for me in a disappointing state. I wouldn't have released it personally. It went out on a better state on PS5 because PS5 can handle the fucking thing. And the Xbox X, it could handle it. S. It was like playing it on a Switch, just a little bit better version, basically. But it was still not great and everything like that. Even though I love that game, I'm proud of that game and everything because it was one of the first games I got my credits on and everything. It was one of the first games I properly worked on and everything. Well, I was so proud of. But it's like, this is the thing about it. It's like there's so many things out there, and now we're throwing out a new one in the Switch 2, which is better than the Switch. Yay, we're happy about that. Developers are like, yay, fucking thank God you finally did something. But it's still weak as hell compared to the X and the S and the PS5. I think it's like the same as the S, kind of, basically. I'm not a tech guy when it comes to it. People in chat can bloody say
it's got magnets
when it comes to that.
That's my technical. I'm demonstrating my technical knowledge of the Switch 2. It's got magnets.
Yeah, it's got magnets.
We have to pay the £10 to get the welcome tour for Nintendo Switch 2 to understand what's inside the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, what's even worse is that for Xbox, they also want you to still release things on the One, which is just
actually
terrifying.
That's true.
It's terrifying. It is terrifying to see that and everything like that. But more thankfully now, most of the developers are not doing that. They'll just do it for the series consoles and everything like that. And I'm sorry for the gamers who just right now have still just got an Xbox One, and everything. But there's nothing for the developer side. We need to move on and start putting on a better platform, and I think, and that's There's just so many things that are driving up costs that are magnitude and everything. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo are one of the main reasons why it's like that, because they have so many different fucking consoles. Apart from Nintendo, I know they're all in just one. But PS5 is just one console. Yes, you have a digital one, but it's still the same. It's the disc one. It's not much difference. But now they've changed that because they want to fucking put the Pro out, and it's just like hit your head off the fucking wall type of thing. But yeah. But the Pro is easier to develop for still than the X. It's insane. Go on, Vitz. I apologize. Go on.
Yeah, completely. Obviously, you're completely valid in your concerns from a developer side point on the S. From the outside looking in, like the S was it used to be a less expensive entry point for people to get in.
I wish I'd kept it. I could have sold it for more.
Exactly. It used to be like the cheaper way. What is the current gen, quote unquote. But yeah, whether that's still the case at a retail price of £300 now. And yeah, the step up to get an X is £200 at this point. And it's interesting that none of these companies are brave enough to say the reasonings behind this. So it's all because of Trump and his trade war with China.
No, it's somewhat because of Trump and his trade war with China. It's not all because of that. Like, there is corporate greed involved in this.
Okay, yeah. I accept that. But yeah, it's like, no, you're fine. And none of these prices are sustainable. And at the end of the day, the market will tell these corporations that enough is enough when it comes to this, when they don't sell anymore. And I get that it is the corporate greed angle in terms of, right, if we jack up the prices now before GTA 6 comes out, then when all these people who, according to corporation logic at least, they said, right, all these people who picked up video games during the pandemic, then dropped it when they had to go back to work, they'll come back for GTA 6 and they'll want to buy
that was the hope.
buy new consoles and whatnot. But
yeah, that was the hope for GTA 6 coming out this year, along with the Switch 2.
Yeah.
It was like, I saw someone talk about it as the rising tide that lifts all boats. Like, it gets eyeballs back towards video games.
The thing is, there's always a boost when it... Sorry, Vitz. There's always a boost when new things come out, especially like a new console. I think from a console provider who's been overall, like I said, very much loved with what they did with the Switch and everything like that. As much take my developer side away, the Switch was a great little console and everything, and it, for me, like, saved Nintendo and everything. It made them a viable place to go and be to play games on again. Apart from that, wasn't just Pokemon for me, you know. But that dip, I think the dip would have been a lot faster. This is the thing about it. GTA 6 next year is going to bring a lot of people back, especially casual gamers, back into the sphere of gaming. But it's the only game they're really going to buy, like, for the entire year, arguably, because it's going to be so big and everything. For whenever it decides to bloody come out, if it's May next year, great. If it's later next year, great. Either way, it's not going to. The dip will.
I don't think
it'll dip faster.
Yeah, sure. I think in real terms, like, GTA 6 isn't going to save video games. I don't think anything's going to save the AAA video game space at this point. Like, the way that it is, I have to keep qualifying that, because I'm not saying they're going to stop making video games. Which is what it sounds like. Even a market crash isn't going to make them stop making video games. Like, it reminds me a lot of... I've just segued from my own point. It reminds me a lot not of the 1983 video game market crash, which is completely different than what's happening right now. It more reminds me of you'll have to take this with a grain of salt, because I don't 100%. I've not 100% read about this. I don't know bits and pieces of it. The studio system in Hollywood, the fall of the Hollywood studio system in the 1970s, where it was like Hollywood was run by 4 or 5 major studios who made all of the films, and then as those films got more and more and more obscenely expensive to make, people stopped watching them because they were making the same films over and over and over again. And then came the rise of New Hollywood, where these these films that would come out that were completely different from anything anyone had seen before, and they were like driven by stars, not by studios, and like star directors and movie stars and stuff like that. And then it killed the studio system in Hollywood, essentially. I know we basically have a studio system again now. Everything is a circle.
Yeah,
but it's what it reminds. Like, it's like, even just like the bits and pieces that I know about that story, like, is what it reminds me of right now in video games. It's like we have 3 main players and some, EAs and Ubisofts who are everything's just getting more and more and more and more expensive to make, and they're making safer and safer bets where everything's coming out and it's exactly the same, and the prices are going up, and like there's a bottom that's going to fall out here, and like it can't be a coincidence that the best received games of the year aren't AAA games.
Yeah, the top 3 highest Metacritic rated games this year are not full price, quote unquote, releases, and I don't think there will be by the end of the year.
Expedition 33, Split Fiction, and Blueprints.
Yeah.
Even Kingdom Come Deliverance wasn't.
Even Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 isn't a AAA
it?
game. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
The highest one that was 70 on going off OpenCritic is Monster Hunter Wilds. That's 89.
Which makes sense, because the Japanese game dev scene is a different beast, I think, to what we're dealing to what's happening here, and
it's more vibrant
in America. Yeah.
Yeah, and from the outside looking in, it does seem to be the case that the Japanese video game scene are a bit slightly better set up for sustainability than anything we have over here. Now that could be me putting credits on them that they don't have. But yeah,
no, there's a reason why the Nintendo Switch has a Japan-only region-locked release, and they haven't done that anywhere else in the world. Because they know where their bread's buttered.
Nintendo could release in Japan and they'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. Everything else is gold for them. It's just extra gravy, basically.
Like, they'll never release a region-locked UK Switch. They'll never switch to. They'll never do it in America.
Yeah.
Like, they'll never do it in any other market. They do it in Japan for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Xbox spent so long trying to crack the market.
This is true. It's a
still
shame for
trying to crack it.
I think they've given up. I genuinely think they've given up on it at this point.
But they were trying.
But they were for a long time. Like, even last generation, like Xbox One generation, they were trying their hardest. Like, they had Dark Souls 3 at E3. Like, they had they were getting that game from Platinum Games. I can't remember. Like, they were trying their fucking hardest.
Yeah, they had Liberty Bell and all sorts of JRPGs for that system. Bell, was it something Sonata as well?
That was back in the Xbox 360. The
Yeah,
Xbox 360 is actually a really good console for Japanese role-playing games.
I was going to say it's a shame that it's probably fortuitous for Nintendo, but it's a shame for the dedicated gamer who'd be willing to go through these lengths that the Japanese unit is region locked because of how weak the yen is comparatively. It is much cheaper over there right now. That's why many people are taking holidays to Japan and looking to buy stuff from there because the yen is relatively weak to the currencies in this part of the world.
Moody?
It would have been a steal.
Your 40 grand Japan holiday might only cost you 30 grand now.
There you go.
But no, like, I wonder, like, tangentially to this, I wonder if we're going to see the return of, like, non-localized Japanese game releases. Like, I know they still do, like, Japan-only releases that aren't localized, but, like, obviously it's a lot less prevalent than it was back in the PS1, Sega Saturn
They
days.
come out with a new Owendon in Japan. I'm ordering that shit.
I have genuinely, I'm genuinely considering learning Japanese just so I can play some PS1, Sega Saturn, PS2 games that never got fan translated.
It is a fantastic language. It's insane, but I'm loving learning it.
I really want to play
practicing
Tokimeki Memorial
for a bit, but it is so amazing. Like, they have this word kami is 3 words. It means the hair, paper, and this one baffled me. God, kami. I was like, wait, what?
It makes sense.
insane.
Okami, Amaterasu, goddess, yeah.
It's a beautiful language. I love it.
That's cool. That's awesome. Is your Discord name? Is that your name?
My name in Japanese.
Yeah, fair enough. I've been meaning to ask you for ages.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think in terms of the AAA gaming space, like, I think something's gonna change. Because I think we're reaching an inevitable, like a point of inevitability, where it's like, I don't think companies that aren't releasing specifically GTA 6 or Call of Duty are going to survive continuing to do what they're doing. Like, every
100%.
game that isn't, like, one of the biggest possible names in gaming, like, in AAA, like, fails to meet its sales expectations. Mm-hmm. Like, we just saw the devs Claire Obscure Expedition 33 celebrating 2 million games sold, like, milestone, and that is fucking incredible.
That is incredible.
But those numbers came out for Dragon Age: The Veilguard last year, and EA was not happy. And, like,
exactly.
Like, well, what did you expect? You released a role-playing game. Like, those aren't Call of Duty games. Like, they're not going to sell Call of Duty numbers. And there needs to be a shift towards sustainable development, whether the studios want to or not.
The other thing about it, we've seen already a company that was beloved, I would say, at the end of the PS3 life cycle to the beginning of the PS4, Xbox One life cycle, which was Ubisoft. They're dying. You can see them dying right now in front of us. Their games aren't selling. Yes, I know. I'm hearing Shadows has sold pretty well, okay for them, but they haven't come out shouting about it. Because if it sold incredibly well, they would have been shouting.
Yeah.
But we know that because they need a win and everything. It's like they had Star Wars last year. They've got that coming back out soon with their new DLC. That basically died straight away. Their games, we've seen it. EA is probably going to last a little bit longer because they've got the sports games that are going to keep them fine and everything. But anything that isn't a sports game from EA is potentially going to die, like what we and Vitz were chatting about in the chat this week. BioWare.
Yeah.
Mass Effect could sell. Mass Effect 5, if we ever see that game, could sell a gazillion copies. For me,
it will matter if it sells if it sells enough. But it's like I'm talking like a completely I'm talking like a completely unrealistic number of copies
like
sold.
20 mil?
Like you're talking like Elden Ring numbers. Like if it sold Elden Ring numbers, like 10
for context, Elden Ring past 30 million.
Yeah, past 30 million. But I'm like, if it like in its like sales win, like whatever the release window, like 3 months or whatever it is, like if it sells like 10 million copies, it'll be fine. And all of a sudden, EA will want to make single player RPGs again. There's not a chance in fucking hell it's going to happen, but that's the kind of numbers they're going to have to look for. It's already been in development for how fucking long? Like, like that. Think about how big that budget already is, and the fact that we haven't seen a single scrap of information for it tells me it's still years away. And again, we're into Dragon Age of the Veilguard territory. There's no way it can sell enough to justify its own development.
And what
it fucking sucks.
And like I've just said about the consoles and many different SKUs and everything, by the time this game comes out, PS6 will probably be out, and the next Xbox console will probably be out and everything. So they'll want to upgrades to that scale and everything. And it's more work, more slowing the development time down, making hard work for all the developers and everything, and just making it all pushing EA, who is throwing a ton of money into this. Because they're stupid, or overselling it, making it sound like they're raising the price even high, then doesn't hit the price they want it to hit, and then they probably close BioWare altogether, and Mass Effect dies outright. Like we were gushing all over the characters on Sunday for the most part and everything, and like when we were talking about it and everything, I was just like,
I remembered.
God, I really want to start playing this. I was like, I want to play this trilogy again. I want to play the games because they were great games and everything, with great characters and everything. I know. I've already got the Legendary Collection. It's all good and everything. But
Tom bought me Mass Effect Andromeda Deluxe Edition on Steam when it was on sale with a note saying, "You have to suffer too." So apparently he bought it for himself and then bought it for me. Just to make me suffer. And I was like, oh no, I have to play Mass Effect Andromeda? Oh no. Because I actually like that game.
I was going to say, no, yeah. You're the one positive review out there.
I was like, yeah, I was like the one positive review.
But yeah, it's like, but like I say, it's just like all the games that, all the companies that have games that they know are going to be fine for the casuals and everything like that, they're going to be fine. They'll survive okay. But the ones who like Ubisoft, who doesn't have that game, who they've been trying forever and ever to find that game, they thought they had it with Assassin's Creed, but then they kind of
they did
milk that. They milked that thing so dry.
Microsoft had it with Halo and Forza and Gears, but the problem is you can only milk something for so long.
Yeah,
and you know, like, and I know we're not talking about the immediate future, but that same sentiment goes for Fortnite and Call of Duty. Like that you can you're only going to be able to milk things for so long. Like
there's only so many IP you can add to that game before there's no more IP left. Donald must have wept for there were no more IP to integrate into Fortnite.
But yeah, no. Like
those ones have a longer life cycle.
They have. I'm going to say like I'm not talking about any time soon. But everything, the one constant of the universe is everything dies.
Yes.
Yeah. But that is the one constant of video games. Like everything dies. Like, but I had the reaction on Bluesky and the Microsoft price rises, which was essentially in line with the reaction I had to the Switch 2 price news. Because I walked Vitz through the roller coaster I went on during the Switch 2 reveal, and the subsequent like day and a half of we're so back. Oh no, it's so over. Like it was a whole thing. But like my
You were literally the game industry prophets.
Literally.
Imagine.
Yeah, I was literally the game industry prophets. I was like, I saw the direct and I was like, shit. And it was like, Amy, it's coming out 2 days before your birthday. Amy, that's payday. And I was like, holy shit, am I getting a Switch 2? This looks really good. And then obviously the price of the games, and I just went, no, I'm not getting a Switch 2. I'm not paying that much for a video game. That's not like Silent Hill 1 on PS1 with a manual, pristine, boxed, which I'd pay more for than £80, but that's my burden to bear, not yours. But I've probably spent more than that on Resident Evil 1, as me and Vitz found out on that one podcast. But like, my reaction is, cool, you're pricing me out of brand new video games, AAA video games. Well, number one, sick, because like now I've got more time for cool games like Claire Obscur and 2 Point Museum. And two, my backlog is overflowing and fit to burst. And I'm talking about games I already own. Like, I could spend the next 5 years playing nothing but games I already own and have never played, and probably have a fantastic time.
Yeah, completely agree there. Like I started that at the beginning of the year. We're going through the Yakuza series and everything, or just GRR games in general, basically. Which I've been having a great time and everything. I've tipped off a little bit. I kind of feel like I want something a little bit more fresh.
Yeah, that's the same thing happened with Dragon Age. It was like, let me dip a bit and then come back.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's why. But I won't lie. Like I'm super excited for the remaster of Yakuza 0 when it comes to for the PS5. It's gonna come. We know that it's a time exclusive for Switch 2 and everything, and I think it'll be out by the time probably next year or something like that.
I was so happy I got to send you that message. Then you didn't know about it, and I was like, Moody, look, Yakuza 0.
Well, the whole thing happened when I was moving.
Yeah,
I had no
I was
idea.
like, Moody, Yakuza. What?
And it's gonna have it dubbed. It's gonna have it dubbed. I'm like, so
and new story
about
content.
Yeah.
But like the last, I've opened up my spreadsheet. The last 6 games I've played, not including like playing Sea of Thieves, Left 4 Dead, all that stuff. Like all those multiplayer games I dip in and out with when friends are available. Claire Obscur, Panzer Dragoon Saga on Sega Saturn, Blueprints. Nice. I played an ungodly amount of Blueprints. Dark Souls 2, which I still need to go back to and finish. I'm taking my time with that. Atom Fall and Bomberman World on PS1. Like, and so like I bought half of those games. None of them for £70, £60, or well, one of them for £50. And I'm having the time of my fucking life. Challenge me, games industry. No. You can make your games as expensive as you want. At this point, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm out.
Yeah, 100%. For the I was just checking on CX to say once I finish Claire Obscur Expedition 33, it would only cost me net £24.
I'm never getting rid
which
of this
again,
game.
one of the bargains of the century for this game. And that's it. Obviously, different strokes for different folks, and yeah, like. I think, Moody, you would have missed it when we first came about, but when the pre-orders for Switch 2 opened, everybody on the internet went from clutching their pearls at the price in horror to reaching for their credit card real fast.
It was real fucking annoying. Like,
they always do. Everyone finds an excuse and a reason to be able to do it. I won't lie, I've done it myself. I did it for the PS4. I was unemployed when that came out and everything, and I was able to get it through like payments and everything like that.
Conceptions, right?
Yeah, I was able to do it.
That's
looking back and everything like that. But yeah, that's just how it is. People always find a way, even if they are like suffering with bills and everything like that. People always find a way. But if like, this is the thing, this is why it weirdly, like I'm going to bring this back up. The PS5 renting thing. That type of thing doesn't look that bad compared to like throwing out 500 quid on a console when you could potentially just rent it for a year or a month or whatever, however you wanted it, basically.
Yeah.
It's like 30 quid or something like that. I'm not saying it was a perfect thing. I do not deny it wasn't perfect, but
I think the issue
sounds a lot better.
The issue is I never had an issue with the price of the Switch 2 console. Like looking at the price of the console, I was like, you know what, this is rough. This is why I was like, shit, am I getting a Switch 2? Because I was like, this is roughly in line with what I expected the console to cost.
Yeah.
The breaking point for me was the game prices. And
don't disagree.
Like when I compared it with Vitz, I was like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe costs £40. You want me to like double that to buy Mario Kart World? And like, no, because I'm not really a Mario Kart fan. I would be fine missing out on Mario Kart. Like my sticking point probably came with Metroid Prime 4 and thinking, shit, that's gonna be like a top tier, like expensive game. If they're charging 67 for Donkey Kong, like Metroid Prime 4 is gonna cost at least that much. No way. I'm not doing that.
But like I said, like you guys were saying, like people were putting out the credit cards who probably couldn't really afford it. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying that renting thing kind of doesn't look that bad. I'm not saying it was perfect, like I said, but it doesn't look. I know Nintendo don't offer a rental thing or anything like that, but it's just like, yeah, it's insane. That's why, like right now, like I'm sticking with Boomerang because like they're a cheaper option for me to be able to get games if I want to try it. But if I'm not using it, then I just cancel it, and it's really quite simple. But like what you just said,
may I make a prediction?
You may. We're not going to stop.
I'm not saying this is a pizza bet or anything like that.
Hey, you say it might not be a pizza bet, but you don't know if we're going to disagree.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to buy the pizza when you come up.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody here on the Words Back Game podcast condones pirating video games. But I imagine that once the people on the internet manage to get an emulator for Switch 2, it will be the most popular emulator that we've had in a good long while.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably,
no
yeah.
doubt.
I mean, the thing about they still haven't really, like, Switch 1 emulation. Please don't ban me, Nintendo. Like, I've never used the Switch 1 emulator. Switch 1 emulation is 50-50. Like, it's still a coin flip as to whether. Like, I know we've all seen the news.
It is a Wii U that's being emulated. Yeah,
we've all seen the news things. Oh, Metroid Prime 4K 60 FPS or whatever. It's like cool, but like an emulation in general, like it's good, but for legal reasons, I do not condone it.
Yes,
but it's not perfect.
It might be serviceable for what your needs.
It's not perfect. Yes. Like a lot, like especially with more modern systems. So like, yeah, sure, Switch 2 emulation will probably be quite popular because of the price of games and consoles and accessories, but it's not going to work very well for a long time.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Like we still,
I get that.
Nintendo 64 emulation is still a fucking nightmare. And that's what, 20 years old? More. It came out in the 90s. 30 years old.
No, Ames, 1990 was 10 years ago. We've gone over this.
It wasn't. I'm sorry to tell you all.
No.
It wasn't.
They all aren't coming in our 40s apart from Vitz, who's already in his 40s.
There's a clip from the Nintendo 64 reveal at E3 in my next video essay. Would anyone like to, before we jump to halftime, would anybody like to guess which E3 that clip is from?
The 95, so maybe the 33 or whatever it is.
Would you like to hazard a guess at the year of the E3, Moody?
What console did you say it was?
The Nintendo 64.
97.
Oh, you surrounded it. Vitz went 95, you went 97. It's from E3 1996, and the first E3 was in 1995.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know how I know that.
E3, the good old days. Oh, you loved it, you did, because you stayed up and watched all the other stuff as well. I know you loved it.
Who, me? I wasn't disagreeing.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I thought you were.
I was devastated when Keeley took it over. When Keeley took over doing it,
It was.
I'm on record as saying we should
It
bring
was the
E3
walled
back.
garden that I. It was a walled garden and I desperately wanted to be inside. But now that I never got the chance to...
I never wanted to go. Like, let me be clear about this. I stated this on so many streams and so many podcasts. I was like, I never actually wanted to go to E3. It looked like a nightmare.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I did that, like, when I heard about it, because, like I say, I was very late getting back into games and everything. I didn't even know about E3 until the PS4 conference and everything. I never heard of it.
You missed so many terrible. You missed
I
so many
missed so
amazing
much.
E3 moments.
I know.
We should do
Racer
on Twitch. We should do, because I think I'm the only person here who's ever seen it. On Twitch, for one stream, we should do a reaction to the Konami E3 press conference.
I know what happens in that. I've seen clips of it and everything, so
it's so good. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I would definitely rewatch the PS4 react.
We should do that.
PS4. Yeah, I would react to the PS4, the whole announcement for that and everything. That was awesome.
We'll do like good ones and funny
bad
ones.
Yeah.
Not the bad ones, because there's lots of boring ones, right? Like, I mean, whatever. But like,
and Nintendo trying to show off the Wiimote for like Zelda's crossbow training, and then the dude on stage yelling at everybody to turn their phones off because that was throwing off the controller.
And the Rock Band, where they got like 4 executives to play Rock Band on stage.
Yes.
There's so many great. Yeah, we're I'm gonna workshop some plans. I'm gonna workshop some plans.
Okay.
But for now, how about we just do a little bit of a halftime break for a very special message from Vitz.
Hello.
Pre-recorded Vitz. You don't have to say anything.
What's good, everyone? I'm Vitz Patel. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, let's go.
It's time for Pixel Pop Stars, the video game and pop culture game show. Life is platformers beyond. Enter your state of flow.
Catch Season 2 of Pixel Pop Stars on Twitch and YouTube at Vitz Patel.
And we are back, baby. I don't know why I added the baby.
Hell yeah. Tune in this Saturday to watch these two chuckleheads go up against each other in Pixel Pop Stars.
Yeah, it's our turn. It's Moody's first time. It's Moody's first time on the old Pixel Pop Stars.
I wrote an intro for him just today.
Muted.
Is it really? Because we already did it with the.
No, we did legally distinct 90s game shows, and trust me, it's a whole different kettle.
Completely different. Thank you very much.
I think it's gonna feel the same.
It's really not. No, it's really not. There are so few. Like, as much as shit as I give Vitz, and I do just want to point out, I was leading in the final of season 1 before he put the game on that I can't play. That there are far fewer.
I did it this time.
I'm getting to a point, because I'm saying there are far fewer shenanigans in Pixel Pop Stars. Legally distinct 90s game shows is a concept that exists to torture me. Pixel Pop Stars is a serious game show.
Well, there's no doubt.
Which Amy has promised to be super chill about this year, this time round.
I've got nothing to prove. I've got nothing to prove. I got to the final. I gave a really good account of myself. I'm like, you know what? I got nothing to prove to any of you clowns.
It was so serious that only one person turned up on Saturday, and the rest just they were there. They participated.
I mean, I think it's fair to say 4 people turned up, but one person had been training in a hyperbaric time chamber.
Hyperbolic
time chamber.
And just looked at
both
posters
of them.
for
They
the
traded
entire
both of them.
This is part of what's
year he was in there.
This is what's part of feeling my chill attitude, because it's like, you know what? Even if I win on Saturday, I'm gonna get obliterated in the final. So whatevs.
I mean, I just want to point out I did consider for a while how funny it would be to run Amy through True Sight once again on her episode just to see how mad she would get. But I thought, no, you know what? This could be, going against someone's accessibility and things like that. So I purposely put True Sight in an episode where Amy wouldn't be on.
I've already said, like,
I just want to put that out there. This is the thing that I did.
Don't worry about
the
me.
poster one.
Yeah.
So you took that one out because of Amy. She can't see shit.
Well, no, I don't.
It was on the last episode.
Games multiple
No, I mean
times
for this
in the-
Saturday.
in
I
the
thought you were
regular
meaning for
season.
this Saturday. I was thinking, no, don't you dare.
They've always put different games in every week. Like,
No,
every
I'm
episode
sorry.
has
I'm
different
quitting
games.
already.
Like, you didn't watch the first season, Moods.
I'm quitting already.
I thought you watched the last season.
I did.
Every episode had different games.
Every episode, different games.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, you hear that? Screw your hard work.
So, what do you want?
Be more like a AAA
Sign
video
back
game. Put the same things in every single episode.
Uh-huh.
I only got one wrong on the poster thing last week. The only one I didn't get was Greatest Showman. So
Okay, I tell you what. If you make it to the final, Moods, I'll bring True Sight back for the final.
fine, I'll get
You
to the final.
just
It
so
ain't
you're
gonna be that
aware,
hard.
just so you know,
Everyone's a schmuck anyway.
because like I am aware that True Sight is like the most popular Pixel Pop Stars game. Like if I make it to the final, feel free to put it in.
Oh yeah.
Like don't take it out of the final on my account. I'll be Andy Cortez. I'll just be like, I'm just happy to be here. Get mad at the picture round. And lose again.
Like the other two are going to fight against each other, so I'm all good there. And Amy's just going to chill. So
I'm
it's all
just
good.
chilling. I don't know, like, because
So she claims. She claims.
No, Simba Jones was in my episode, my first round last time, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
No, like Simba Jones is pretty chill. Like, he was a cool person.
Robin and Amy are going to fight because
Robin's
Amy
not
started to
in
beat
our
Who's in
episode.
it?
Like, no, I did say it. I did pitch Vitz. Why don't you put Chaz and Robin and me all in one? Because I'll wind them both up. Like, but
Yeah. Sadly, the availabilities of everyone didn't work for that.
no,
yeah, you'll be playing with Rahul and Simba Jones.
no, the chaotic element that Vitz is relying on is you and me. Like in
Well,
the
You
next
are the
episode.
narrative for this episode.
We're the narrative for that episode.
Did you not watch any of the clips from the last Pokemon stream?
You and I are the narrative for the next episode. of
We're the
Pixel Pop
narrative.
Stars. Yeah.
And the other two, you just extras.
They're the ones who are going to win because we're going to be too busy trying to chase strips
Yeah.
out of each other.
Exactly. Sniping at each other. That's right.
Anyway,
It should be a fun show.
Saturday, 7 p.m. Twitch.tv/Vitz
GMT.
Patel. If you can't make it live, you suck. No, just kidding. But you can watch the VOD if you go to Vitz Patel on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And
You suck if you don't watch it
I
live.
must-
I'll say it.
But if you don't watch the VOD, you suck. If you can't make it live, we understand. But if you don't watch the VOD, what you
You
do?
definitely suck.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed with myself that even after a super long episode, I stayed up and edited the video and got the
I
VOD up
wondered. I
immediately
texted
on the
you
very
like
same night.
I'm sure I texted you like an hour after it finished, and you replied, and I was like, "Fitz is never normally awake at this time." So I wondered why you were still awake. No, that's cool. I was editing
God's
my
work.
N64 video, so I guess we were both editing. We were both stuck in editing hell.
I was in bed.
And Moody was asleep.
I actually was. I was like,
Dreaming.
all right. There we go. Time to go to bed.
Dreaming of winning his first episode of Pixel Pop Stars, which will forever remain a dream and not reality. Anyway, it's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool-looking, upcoming indie game that we think looks cool and we think you should go look at on the internet. I need to take a breath after that, sorry. This week, if you like indie games, scroll on down to the description of wherever you choose to listen to or watch this podcast. We have a Steam Curator page where we have every single indie game of the week we've ever done, which is well over 100 indie games at this point. So there's something on there for everybody. I always try to keep the genres like nice and spread, or as spread as I can. So there's something on there for you. But anyway, click that link, go have a look, scroll through some cool looking indie games. But don't forget to click on the link for this week's indie game of the week, which is Agni, Village of Calamity. This game is a cinematic survival horror game inspired by the greatest classics of horror media. Play as Agni, a determined investigator from a covert Indonesian police unit who defied orders and ventures into a remote village despite ominous warnings. What begins as an unauthorized investigation quickly plunges Agni into a horrifying reality that shatters her understanding of everything she knows. There's a lot more to the Steam Store description, but you know what? Listener, viewer, both, or neither, click the link and read the description. It's a beefy description. There's a lot in there.
There is.
Sure,
It's beefy.
It's beefy. There you go.
How many games do you get?
I was saying, put that on your Steam quote pull quote thing. Words about games. Quote. It's beefy.
How many games do you see these days set in Indonesia? So go check it out for that alone.
Exactly. I believe the developer is from Indonesia. I believe it's an actual Indonesian developer. But I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know whether I just misread something. So I'm just looking it up now because I don't like to be wrong on the internet. Unlike the vast majority of people who exclusively try to be wrong on the internet. Yep.
I try my best.
See,
It's not my
Moods?
fault. Okay, leave me alone.
Moods, I thought you were going to chime in and say, for Eamon's being wrong, tune into Pixel Pop Stars. That would
Sephora
have been the line there, either, but never mind.
Interactive is an indie game studio from Indonesia dedicated to blending the magic of captivating animation with the immersive
Nailed it.
interactivity of games. Our mission: to craft unforgettable stories that entertain, inspire, and connect with players from all walks of life. I'm getting some Indica vibes from looking at the trailer for this. And Indica is a game that I know I need to play. I haven't yet, but I've seen so many people I respect go crazy for Indica that it's on my list. So when I say it looks like Indica, I mean that extremely complimentary, where it's this also looks extremely like my shit.
100%.
Maybe I'll back to back them, depending on when it comes out. But that was Indie Game of the Week. Go click the wish list button on the game if you think it looks cool. Go to our Steam Curator page, go click on all the indie games on there, or the ones that you look cool. Click on those, click the wish list on those. Wish list games, people. I cannot stress this enough. I know, and I stress it every week. Wish list games that you think look cool. Because from a selfless standpoint, it helps the developers of those games out with the Steam algorithm. And from a selfish point of view, when you wishlist a game, you get an email when it comes out. So you don't have to worry about forgetting about the game. If it's already out, great news, you get an email when it goes on a discount. So you don't have to worry about forgetting about it. You'll get emails about it. It's a great system that you should take advantage of. I'm done with my... I'm done with my. I'm off. I'm getting down off of my wish listing things soapbox.
No, you're all good.
To put Vitz, and I'm picking you up like a child, under the shoulders, to put you on the soapbox now, because now it's your turn to say the things that you wanted to say in this podcast. I don't know. I don't know why.
Talk about your story.
I don't know why I think of the things that I say and then say the things that I say.
It's called ADHD.
Was doing its thing, and I was like, I think she's trying to cue me up, so I'm just going to go.
Oh, you missed that? Good.
This week,
good.
Yeah. I got the bit where you picked me up as a child and put me on a soapbox.
Oh,
you
got the part right. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just mosey on past that. So a pretty titanic thing happened this week. Grand Theft Auto 6 got another trailer, and people went wild. The second trailer for GTA 6 blasted past 475 million views in 24 hours. And that is just on their own channel. So never mind everybody else like putting on their channels and resharing it and all the rest of it. For context, the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer was that got 365 million views in the first 24 hours. Fantastic Four's got 200 million, and the first GTA 6 trailer clocked up 93 million in the first 24 hours. So 475 million is a wild number. Yeah, I've seen the trailer a couple of times now and watched some of my favorite people out on the internet break this down and trying to pick out all the details. It looks phenomenal. I highly recommend you check it out. I appreciate members of the Words About Games podcast team here. Not all jazzed about GTA 6, so don't belabor it for too long. But the things they managed to do on a
this podcast is about all of us.
100%. Yeah, but yeah, no. So what they're able to do on a technical level here is beyond amazing. And one of the things Rockstar have since come out and clarified is that the trailer ends. All of this footage was captured on PS5, and not to say it was a pro system. This indeed was a system that all the assets that you saw was in-game engine. So that's to say it wasn't pre-rendered, and the fidelity of everything that's going on and the way material moved and liquids sloshed around in glasses and how light was being refracted through glasses and different mediums, and that's like above and beyond the general vibe of the trailer, introducing our two protagonists that we're going to have. And I put this out on social media, and I think it's going to apply here. So if you remember back in the day, I think 1999, so a movie called The Mummy came out, starring Rachel Weisz and the man, and
Brendan Fraser.
That's his name.
Oh, the Mummy. The Mummy. Sorry, I thought you said the Money. I was like, oh, okay.
Yes. Discord did its thing.
Yeah, Discord is doing its thing. We haven't replaced Vitz with AI. I'm just going to throw it out there right
now. And that very much was the bisexual Bible and bisexual awakening for many people who watched that back in the day. This game is going to be the same, because this game is full of incredibly attractive people, and it's a way of a time. And the Pointer Sisters on the trailer, they're rocking out with their song Hot Together. And for everything shown to be on a base PS5, for sure is running at 30 frames a second, which I imagine will be kind of the peak what it's going to be able to do. But I will say that it was including various elements of ray tracing within that as well. So time will tell if the performance mode you'll be able to play this on consoles, which kind of ray tracing for trading off for higher rates. And as we've seen, this game isn't coming to launch. I imagine it'll come in many years time. And yeah, this trailer is incredible. I'm all about the vibes of this game. The soundtrack is going to be phenomenal. Yes, it's going to be full of licensed music, but the Vice City, the soundtrack to GTA Vice City to begin with was one of my favorite things about that, and just being in the world, listening to Flash FM, and it's going to be similar vibes here too. And yeah, for it to be running on base PS5 tech is incredible. To what Moody was alluding to in the first half of the cast, how this thing is going to run on a Series S, I don't know. Rockstar might have clout to say, you know what, we're not going to do Series S, and Microsoft's just going to say, all right then. In the same way that I think Larian, they had their many of the reasons why Baldur's Gate was late coming to the Xbox platform was their Series S inability to I think handle split screen play. And so I think Rockstar might have that to say, you know what, we're not going to even bother with Series S, but time will tell. As I say, I highly recommend you check out this trailer. And they put a release date on here, May 26. And what was interesting is that for those who don't know, the main premise of GTA 6 is
Crime.
we have a crime, and we have a Bonnie and Clyde situation happening here. And May 26th happens to be the funeral of the Bonnie and Clyde, which happened for real. So sorry, I led to believe anyway. Yeah, and I just thought it was serendipitous that they elected this to be the date, and it moving into this holiday season opens up the for everything else to release. So Ghost of Yotei announced their release date of October 2nd just a couple of weeks ago. I imagine some of the higher ups at Sony had either conversations or confirmation from Rockstar to say, yeah, we're going to push this game back, kind of thing. So get ready for that. Check out this trailer. It is a technical feat, if anything else. And yeah, the vibes are right for what. Yeah, that's your recap on GTA 6.
So yeah, GTA 6.
Yeah.
What a game. I think. I don't know. Did you watch the trailer, Moody? I didn't watch the trailer.
Yes, yeah, I did. I saw the trailer. Yeah, it was a good little trailer. There's no doubt. I get where everyone's going all gooey over the technical feats that they do on this game and everything like that. It's a franchise I've never really ever really truly been sold on. For me it peaked at Vice City. I love Vice City, but I've never really enjoyed the rest of them or anything like that. And basically they've all been very much the same since then as well. And I think very much this is going to be it's going to sell incredibly well. We know this. It's a GTA. But yeah, the technical feats and everything like that don't really bother me or anything like that. I think anyone who thinks this, I think, as what you were saying about like it was running on a base PS3, a PS5.
Holy shit, it was running on a base PS3.
and they went back to the cell
No,
processor.
I'm really impressed by that base technical feat. Like, no,
that's why it's been delayed.
Yeah. Backwards compatible across all PlayStation consoles.
I don't think this. I think this will only run 60 on PC. I don't think it'll run 60 on the consoles very well. I think they'll be. I think they'll play at 30, even on the pros and whatsoever. Personally, just because consoles won't be able to handle it compared to what a PC will be able to, a high-end PC anyway. Because this is the thing, they're all working this game on the high-end PCs, high-end quality hardware and everything like that to do this game. I believe, and it's just. Yeah, I'm just not a GTA person. I'm happy, excited for people who are. But this, of all the other stuff like we've already talked about, this thing in there where everyone feels like this is going to save the industry. It's not going to save the fucking industry whatsoever. I don't really give a fuck about that when it comes to it, because I think it's people are incredibly naive to it. It'll cover a spot. It'll take up a spot or a conversation for a couple of weeks, if not more, just like Red Dead Redemption 2 did and everything like that. And this is I won't lie, this is their game. This is their game now for at least the next 10, 15 years, just like GTA 5 was and everything. And logging in on the new online that they'll bring for it and everything like that. And they've been incredibly successful for it. But yeah, I'm not sold for it. It's a pretty little trailer. And the hard work for all of that to make it look really great. It's like, shout out to all the people who have worked their asses off to get this type of thing for it. They're obviously they're working their asses off to be able to do that. I really liked to hear when we heard it was delayed that one of the reasons was so they aren't crunching, and obviously
100%.
a couple of people, especially Jason, has come out and says like they are a lot better compared to what they were when GTA 5 came out and everything, which is and Red Dead 2 came out, which is obviously fantastic to hear and everything. And so I'm really happy for that and everything. So yeah, it's I don't care, but I get why people are at the same time.
Fair enough.
So number one, I guess I did just watch it. I
could tell. That's why I was trying to ramble as much as I can to let you watch
the use of
it.
Everybody Wearing Chung, 10 out of 10. Great song. It looks very impressive.
Yeah.
I do believe that was all cinematic, like in-game cinematics, though. Having just like, and I've just watched it, so like, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But I'm looking at the game. I'm looking at the trailer. I'm like, I'm pretty sure those are all cutscenes, apart from obviously the logo.
Yeah.
I think, like, I imagine it would come with a performance mode on consoles, like most games do these days, which might push to 60 for the sake of graphical fidelity, Doctor ray tracing, and you know, I don't know what is it, DLSS, and all that other stuff.
PlayStation's pisser.
Oh, pisser, yes, that was it. The bells and whistles. But like, you know, I don't know, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It just matters how it plays, right? Like, how the story's
we all know how it's going to play it. Let's just be frank here. Sorry for putting in Vitz.
No, it's fine. Yeah, Rockstar said the trailer was comprised of equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. So
that was the fucking game.
Yeah, obviously you're saying this on your first blush. So yeah, I think the scenes of Jason driving in the car, especially like past the police, that could be gameplay. But you may not remember this if you didn't touch GTA 5 or Red Dead kind of thing. So when during gameplay, you could turn on a kind of like a cinematic mode. So the camera would shift.
Terrible.
Oh, it didn't work out if you're driving, but yeah, the camera would shift to a more cinematic mode, so you wouldn't be able to see where you're driving.
Yeah,
but it looked cool as
like. Yeah, there was this game, Tom Clancy's Hawks, which was like Ubisoft's answer to Ace Combat, where it was like, you know, you fly the jet. It was a jet fighter game, and you had the camera behind, and it was like, yeah, it's pretty good, you know. It's not Ace Combat, but it's pretty good. But you could turn on this weird fucking cinematic camera that like zoomed out and gave you like these weird like controls. It was like, look sick, can't play the game like this. As soon as you said cinematic camera, I was just like Hawks. Like that doesn't sound.
But
right.
yeah, that's how you achieved it.
All right, fair enough. And I retract my these are all cinematics comment.
And to be fair, you caveated this by saying, you know, this is your first blush impression, and you just watched all the rest of it.
But I mean, I'm not even saying. I'm saying it still looks great. I mean,
yeah,
good stuff. Like nice water, fun music,
hot characters.
I mean, your point about the mummy now makes perfect sense. I'm like, yep.
See,
this is the mummy of video games.
Oh, no doubt. They were good looking.
Put that on the box.
Put that on the box.
There's going to be some massively sexual...
It's beefy.
It's beefy for Agni, the village of Calamity, and the mummy of video games for GTA 6. Why did nobody contact us to use our codes for their marketing?
See?
If
Rockstar got an office in Leeds still.
If they marketed this game as with the line, the mummy of video games, they'll sell even more copies.
They've got time. It's not until May next year, so
the mummy is somehow getting even more popular as time goes on.
Because Brendan Fraser won an Oscar and he's talking about it, and I think he wants to try and do
Everybody's like experiencing the mummy. And it's like, I watched that in the cinema. I was a child. I got scarred by the scene with the scarabs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary, that part.
Yeah.
Old Benny.
Shouldn't have seen that in the cinema.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. But yeah, no, like, I think what we've learned today is that GTA 6 looks pretty good, and your homework is to go and watch The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
It's a great film in general. Let's just be frank. It is a great 90s film.
It's a fun film.
I love it.
Yeah.
The sequels, not so much. But the first one, yes.
I like
Return is a very good movie until a certain thing pops out of a wall, and you just go, "Why did you make that choice? Why?"
Oh, the CGI of the early 2000s.
I couldn't get aboard with that kid actor. The one who plays the son, no.
And I won't lie, I don't think a lot of people know there's a third film.
The Jet Li.
Yeah.
And without Rachel Weisz.
Yeah. They just straight up replaced it, didn't they?
Yeah, she didn't want to return, yeah. Yes.
Like, they didn't introduce a new character, they just straight up recast her.
Which I don't see a problem with. Like, for me, I'd see, why kill the character or boot the character out? Just replace, just get a different actress. As long as the actress does a good job, that's all that matters. Did she do a good job?
Yeah.
There wasn't a fourth film, was there?
I mean, that's what I was going to say. I was like, yeah, you're not technically wrong, but...
I'm gonna say Paddington 3 was less special because the Mrs. Brown was different.
I need to watch those films. I haven't seen the Paddington films. I hear good things.
They are great. The first two especially.
Maybe I'll throw it on the pile. Anyway, let's we've done talking about GTA. Let's talk about video games because we went before. It's time for OpenCritic. Look, right. You asked the question 2 weeks ago on a stream. What's wrong with you? I said I don't know. I asked chat. Chat didn't know. Like,
Wait, I asked that question?
Yeah. You were like, I was like, I'm making an N64 controller video, and you went, what's wrong with you? And I went, I don't know. Maybe chat can help. Okay. And then chat was like,
to be fair, there was only one person in chat.
Which is understandable. Nobody knows. Medical professionals don't know. It's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever gets as closest to the score at the time of recording gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Now look, right, I beefed with OpenCritic last week, and I'm going to beef with them again this week, because we keep doing this game, we keep guessing the scores, the games get more than enough reviews to have OpenCritic averages, and they're just not getting them. And like, I'm getting sick of having to do maths, because I feel like it's either that or nothing. Like, and then I was scrolling through OpenCritic and I realized they were owned by Valnet, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Now I understand why this website seems to be falling to pieces. But anyway, we did Doom reviews come out tomorrow or later tonight. I can't remember. It's one of the two.
Tomorrow is the
so we'll have the scores for that for next week. The two games that we have guessed previously, they have, like, one has 7 reviews, one has 11 reviews. It's plenty enough for an OpenCritic average. So I just averaged the fuckers out on the internet myself. Maybe I'll just make my own OpenCritic. But yeah, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Detective Dotson. Vitz, you guessed it would get an 88. I guessed it would get an 85. Moody guessed it would get 79. At the time of recording is worked out by Amy. Detective Dotson has an OpenCritic average of 76, which gives Moody a point. We also tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Post-Trauma. Moody, you guessed it would get a 79. I guessed it would get a 75. Vitz guessed it would get an 80. At the time of recording, according to Amy's calculations, Post-Trauma has an OpenCritic average of 66, which gives Amy a point, and puts the scores at Amy 8, Vitz 12, Moody 16, with 1 draw. Which was avowed. The draw was avowed. This week, we're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of Into the Restless Ruins. Previous indie game of the week, a previous star of one of Amy's check out these Steam Next Fest games that I played,
which you can currently save 10% on the Steam store.
Yeah, it's up for pre-order. Like, games of this size never go up for pre-order.
It is.
It's very strange that it did.
There's a demo you can download as well still.
I imagine it's the same demo I played. It's very good. Hard to explain. It's a little bit like Vampire Survivors. It's a little bit like a deck builder. It's a little bit of a dungeon crawler. And it's a little bit of a roguelike.
Amy, just so you know, you
beautiful
just
pixel
counted my
there.
number.
All at the same time. Whatever you just said, I'm going to assume I'm going to have to do some stuff. We'll do it after the podcast. For now.
No, I've already done it for you. It's all right.
Oh, hey, you and Vitz, you really need to stop messing with my document.
Then count properly then.
Count you properly.
Damn.
Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of Into the Restless Ruins. Moody, you're up first.
So I've just had a look at this trailer. Looks like a good game, I won't lie. It's got an interesting mechanic. Got an interesting mechanic.
You build the dungeon using the cards
Cards,
that you have in your deck, and then you go and you fight your way through the dungeon, like getting upgrades. You're trying to connect your dungeon to like places, spaces like on the map, which will uncover like special things, boss fights, all sorts of things. And basically, you're trying to get to the top where the actual like boss of the run is. And like the idea behind like room placements and like fighting things is like you only have a set amount of time before you run out of light. So you have to go and do all your stuff and then get back to the entrance. And like you're building your dungeon in a way that gives you access to like upgrades, like permanent upgrades, like temporary upgrades, health upgrades, like stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. Like the demo I played was a lot of fun.
How's the combat?
It's vampire survival. That's the vampire survivors like bit. So like enemies are coming at you, and like
that's
you
the
have
game that you really liked in your 2 years ago or whatever.
You auto attack, so you don't you're in control of the character's movement, but you're not in control of the character's like actual fighting. But like the upgrades that you can do to your character are things like attack speed, like there's like a bunch of different like things you can do to like make your character attack better. And like you're just in control of like running through the dungeon.
Is it the same developer?
If it helps.
No, it's not. It's Ant Workshop. They're not that far from
19 tight spaces than they did as well. Yeah, I was going to say this game is
no, they
the
didn't.
lore for this game is set in Scotland as well. They did 19 tight spaces.
Ant Workshop did not do 19 tight spaces.
Well, you can
not
pre-purchase
coming up on my
19
end.
tight Ruins bundle.
No, the public because it goes to the publisher. Wales Interactive.
Okay,
like
fine.
if you click on Steam does this.
Oh, sorry, yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah, you click on Ant Workshop and it takes you to the publisher's thing.
But this game is Scottish coded.
It is. It's a
code.
Welsh publisher and a Scottish developer. Made in Scotland.
Hey, go away.
We have an 80 from Moody. I'm gonna go 87. I'm gonna go high. I like this demo a lot. I think a lot of people who play it are gonna like it a lot. I look forward to working out its review score next week.
Or in a couple of weeks' time.
Or in a couple of weeks' time. Bloody OpenCritic doesn't work properly anymore. But yeah, no, I really vibed with it. So that's my reasoning. Vitz?
Yeah, thanks for
69.
asking.
Put it down to 60 then, because that means it won't get any reviews or it'll get terrible reviews because it's a game Amy likes, and we know how the critics are when it comes to Amy games. That
My
she
two
likes.
two favorite games of the year are the two best reviewed games of the year, as you know.
You never split Fiction.
Is it? I thought it was Blueprints and Cloud Obscure.
They're all there. Those are the two of the three, yeah.
Same thing.
I'm going to go for the number that never fails, 88, please.
They're the same number, 90 and 90.
It's really 4 because it's basically it's 1 and then 3 games in second place and then keep driving.
And keep driving.
And wild and then no, so it's 1 game in first place, 3 games in second place, and 2 games in third place.
Yeah. And like
that's pretty
yeah,
good.
no, but hey, you know what? It still counts as the top 3 because if Keep Driving
I'll
is
accept it.
third, like hey, I love that game too.
I'll accept that. Sorry,
So-
we put it in on you.
so
I
hell
do
yeah.
apologize.
And I see 2 Point Museum. I'm playing 2 Point Museum once I finish Claire Obscure.
Oh, yeah?
That game comes highly recommended from a couple of people, so I was like, "Fuck, let's fuck with this game. Looks really sick." I'm not gonna lie, it's the part of like a good 50% of the reason I'm playing it is because I did watch Steph Sterling's video about it, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, 2 point.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn, this game fucks." Like, there's way
Did you
more.
say this game fucks?
Yeah, there's way more to this
Interesting.
game. There's
An
way more to
interesting
this
analogy.
game than I thought. I thought it was just like a museum game, but then it was like, well, yeah, you can build a museum, but like you can put so much more in it than I thought you could, and there's so many more mechanics to it. I was like, damn.
They don't rest on their laurels. The 2 point team.
Yeah, like Steph said in the video, like they could have made 5 games out of 2 Point Museum. like 5 different 2-point games out of it and chose to make one. You know what? I am going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to support that kind of behavior from game developers.
I remember when developers used to do that.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when you could buy Silent Hill 2 on the Xbox, and it came with the extra scenario that they developed for the game. Whereas now it's just gone from the remake, and I assume will be DLC, much like Resident Evil 4. I bought Resident Evil 4 from my PS2, and it came with the Separate Ways campaign, which is DLC in the remake. It's like, they say they don't take things out of games. Yet we have undeniable proof that is what happens.
I just like them just like constantly still gaslighting you, say, nope, that's not the case. And you're there to go, look, I have it right here.
It was like, which Street Fighter game was it?
No,
where they were like,
never happened.
We haven't cut anything out of the game to sell back to you as DLC. And then people looked at it and it was like, it's on the disc. Was that Street Fighter 4 or 5?
The download, yeah. 4. Yeah, the downloads were 100 kilobits.
Yeah. It was like, people looked at the files on the disc and it was like, the characters you're selling me are already on the disc. Like, you...
Actually, it may have been 5, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was 4. It was 1. Yeah, it's one that I had.
I don't remember. I remember Horse Armor, and then fucking DLC was good for a bit when you got like fucking Lair of the Shadow Broker and like actual like story campaign content, and then it just went fucking crazy.
I think after I get done playing Clair Obscur, I'm going back to Mass Effect.
Nice. Like I said to Moody once, I can't remember if it was on the podcast or stream or privately, like when you see the Steam notification that says is playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I'm going all in on making that video. Like, this is the moment. I finish it or it kills me. Those are the only two options.
Or you can add a third and just say, I stopped for a little bit longer to, yeah.
No. Like the next time I attempt it is the final attempt. I finish it or I die. For those who come after, right, Vitz?
Exactly. We continue.
I think that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. And I have this note here that I haven't read for like fucking 6 weeks that says Moody's time to shine with an exclamation mark. So I guess since Moody's here, it's Moody's time to shine.
Shine. It's your two's time to shine.
We've been shining for the last 6 weeks,
and I want you to continue to shine.
Do you know what's really,
why don't
really
you
funny?
continue to shine?
Do you know what's really funny about this? Like, I've just been saying 6 weeks. I don't even know if it is 6 weeks. I don't know if it's been 6 weeks. I guessed at the beginning of the podcast when I said Moody's been gone for 6 weeks, and now everybody's picked it up. And it's like, am I right?
Sure.
Is it 6 weeks? I don't know if it's been 6 weeks. It might have been 6 weeks. But no, like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be 6 weeks if I didn't come this week.
So like
So
it was
weeks,
6 weeks ago when the last time you were on a podcast.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good guess. Anyway, hurry up, Mooney. I want to go shine.
No,
Do the
it's
shiny
your
thing.
two. You've been doing an incredible job, both of you. So come on.
The reason I'm not going. The only reason we've been doing the job that we have been doing is because we knew we could not emulate you in any way. And like, you know what they say about, you don't play
As
the
we
game.
said, we're against piracy.
I'm not.
Nice. I like what you did there. Yeah. I see what you did there. That took me a second. I was like, what the fuck? Oh,
It's not piracy.
Just close the podcast out. Do the thing.
All
I've
right,
missed
bye,
it.
everybody.
That sucked. Like, ours was better than that.
100%.
Hello, everybody. Be proud. You made it. Another day is behind you. Another week has passed. But do you want to know what else you have? A future that's all yours to decide. Let it fly, your heated fury, because it's time to party. We all welcome each other from far and wide. We'll be helping each other out all the way. Go live your best life. It all starts from level 1. Now go, high five that sky, live long and prosper, and the journey is yours, and it starts now.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I hear it now. That was a lot better than what we've been doing for the last 6 weeks.
I don't know.
I hear it now. Yeah. Well, bye, everybody.
I'm gonna have to hear it a couple more times.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to hear it for like the next year, non-stop.
Yeah, I'm going on hiatus again, just so you know.
Yeah, so like the next 52 episodes, like I'm gonna have to like just to really like compare them.